There we go. Hello everybody and welcome to the Improving Flow stream. And we've got a stream of people trickling in, which is nice. Thanks for coming over and joining us today. We'll get started because we need to keep to time. So just a couple of things first. So you're in the Improving Flow stream. And the most important thing is if you can submit questions via the Q&A box rather than chat, that allows me to quickly pull out the questions, and we can also vote up our favourite questions. So use the chat for chatting and the Q&A for Q&A. Couldn't be more simple than that. Okay, without further ado, I think it would be great to get started with our first speaker. So our first speaker is Manju Xiong, who's going to be telling us about an R reporting scheme that they did in Scotland around medication-assisted treatments. Manju, thanks for joining us. Over to you on our other speaker panel. So if you just switch over to the other window and unmute yourself. If you can open the window that's got me and UN in it, and then click unmute. That should, you might just stop sharing and then reshare your screen, I see, because you probably can't see the buttons. We're working it out. There we go. Manju's just unsharing and we'll be back. You'll be pleased to know, guys, as well, I've got my iHeart Data mug specially. So I hope you've got some fun mugs with you today.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Lovely. So if you can share your screen again, we could see it beautifully. We just couldn't hear you.
Yes, thank you. And I'll go back to my sharing.
That'll be lovely.
Thank you. And I think it's this one.
We're just getting, if you've just joined us, we're just getting screen sharing sorted for our first speaker, Manju Xiong.
Kate, can you see the screen now? Is that okay?
And we can see you. Thank you very much, Manju.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. And good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Manju, and I work as data analyst at NHS Lothian, a Scottish health board based in Edinburgh. I'd also like to acknowledge my colleagues, Jules and Dan, who were instrumental in developing the work I'm presenting today. Today, I'm going to share our team's experience in developing a semi-automated reporting workflow using REDCap and R. This project supports the reporting of Scotland's medication-assisted treatment, or MET standards. I will focus on the design of our workflow, why we moved away from spreadsheets, how we automated the process using Posit Connect, and most importantly, how this improves accessibility for our frontline staff. So before we move into the workflow, let me briefly explain the context. The MET standards are a national initiative in Scotland to reduce drug-related harms and death. They focus on ensuring people receive evidence-based treatment as soon as they need it. For example, starting prescription within 3 days of asking for help. To monitor whether this is happening, our alcohol and drug partnerships, also known as ADPs, and substance use surveys need reliable and regular insight into their performance. So a yearly benchmarking report alone isn't enough. Survey staff also need to see what is happening locally and weekly. They need to find out, are people accessing care fast enough right now? Which surveys are under pressure? Do we need to take immediate action to improve? That's why timely local reporting is critical for turning these standards into real improvements in care. However, our previous reporting process wasn't built for that speed. We relied heavily on spreadsheets emailed from different service teams, sometimes containing different formats or variable names. Spreadsheets are great for many things, but they are not built for weekly collaborative reporting across a large region. This created inherent version control issues, and instead of analyzing data to support patient care, our team was spending hours reconciling file formats, checking manual errors, and merging data. We needed a solution that was simpler, faster, and reliable. So what did we build? We moved away from disconnected files to a unified semi-automated pipeline that connects data connection directly to reporting. If you look at the right side of the screen, we essentially swapped the spreadsheet for a set of connected tools. First, regarding connection, REDCap gives service staff a secure, standardized platform to enter data. Next, that the data flows directly into our processing engine. We use R to pull and clean the data, while Posit Connect acts as the heartbeat of the system, automating the schedule, so the process runs without manual intervention. And finally, we use flexdashboard as our visualization layer. Think of it as an interactive web-based poster that presents information back to service. Now let's break down exactly how this works in practice. As you can see, the workflow follows 4 steps. Step 1, data extraction via API. Our R script now is connected to REDCap through the API. For those who are not familiar with API, it's a secure bridge that allows two software to talk to each other. It means we don't have to manually download CSV files anymore. The script simply asks REDCap for the latest data, and REDCap sends it over. Step 2, data cleaning and standardization. Once the data arrives in R, the script automatically standardizes the structure and keeps only the fields needed for the math indicators. This is crucial because the raw export from REDCap can be messy and hard to read. Step 3, automation with Posit Connect. This is the key step happens. We publish our code to Posit Connect. Simply put, Posit Connect acts as a server that can execute our R code on a schedule. So we set it to run every week. It wakes up, triggers the script to pull the new data, process it, and updates the report, all without us lifting a finger. Step 4, manual render. This is where the human comes back in. Once the data is prepared, we use a clean-to-neat process to generate the final report. We have separate modular reports for different math standards. So these steps gives us a chance to do a quick data check and select which report to generate. We keep this step manual for quality assurance. It's also why we call the workflow semi-automated. We still need human judgment to catch things like adding new service names. And this small amount of manual control ensures our data is accurate, so the workflow handles the heavy lifting and we step in only where judgment is needed. Here is an example of the report products. At the top, we have tabs that allow users to switch between different surveys or different parts of the math standard. It keeps everything organized in one place rather than across multiple separate files. This gathers all local data into one report for the ADP to review. It allows them to spot pressure points, for example, seeing which service is handling significantly higher patient numbers or incidents compared to others. In the center, the key indicators are shown as interactive charts. Each point represents an individual event. For example, how many days it took for an initial risk assessment to happen. Users can hover over any point to see the exact date and value, which helps them explore their own data without needing technical skills. On the right, there is a clear summary of the results, the number of records included, the average time, the minimum and maximum days, and where the service is meeting the target defined in the math standard. Our main goal was accessibility. Frontline teams can quickly see what's happening and where attention may be needed without scrolling rows of data. It also makes the data transparent and easy to explore. Technically, we relied on a few R packages to make this workflow robust and repeatable. For the data connection, we use REDCap-R package to establish the secure API bridge I mentioned. It gives us a stable, traceable import straight from the REDCap database. And for anyone interested in the setup, you can see an example script here on the left showing how the data is pulled. For the data transformation, we rely on dplyr and lubridate to tidy the raw export. And finally, for reporting and accessibility, we use flexdashboard together with Plotly. You can see another example script here. This shows how we use storyboard mode to organize multiple indicators in one place and update weekly data automatically. So while the tools themselves are quite standard, the way we use them together is what enables the automation and the modular, easy-to-navigate report you saw earlier. This workflow also has some benefits in improving data governance. So connecting to REDCap through the API means there is no exporting of Excel files and no emailing of attachments. Everything runs within a secure, auditable environment. Posit Connect logs every refresh, control access, and ensures that the same code and data are used consistently. This improves traceability, reduces errors, and limits manual handling of sensitive information. However, even with the automation in place, there are still a few real-world issues we regularly see. So like backdated entries, service name changes, and the occasional typos. These things do happen, and right now our solution is manual checks before generating the reports. But in the future, we may introduce data freshness checks and even remind alerts, those functions. So if something looks unusual, the system can notify us automatically. And in summary, the goal isn't a full automation at any cost. It's about keeping a balance between automation where it saves time and human oversight where judgment is needed. And because the workflow is modular, we hope to consider extending the same approach to support other public health reporting in the future. And thank you for listening. I'm happy to take any questions.
We've got a minute left for some questions. We've had some questions come through, one of which is, in which area do users' feedback the greatest benefits lie? So is it in the data entering or is reporting and data presentation?
I think it's used for more on the reporting and data presentation because the math standards, the data has like over 50 variables, and the reporting just help us to shortlist the key indicators.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And one last quick one, just around how long it takes to for the reports to actually run, those reports, so rerunning on Connect, and do they sort of run all by themselves?
Yes, it's all run by themselves, and it won't take too long. I think every Monday morning it just arrives, and it's really quick. Like you click a source button, but you don't need to click. The Posit Connect help you to do all of that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Manchu. We are now at break time, so we'll be back in this room improving flow at 11:20. We've got Stephen Parsons talking about evaluation. Thank you, Manchu, and we'll see you at 11:20.
Thank you. See you. Bye.